party. All right, yeah, open up the chat. Oops, I don't need to share my screen yet. Man, I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties already. All right, chat. There it is. There it is. There's the chat. All right, guys, where are we tuning in from? Put it in the chat. And just also, because we're in week 2, and last week was the prep week, are you ready? Like, are you ready to go? Jeffrey's ready to go. He's got this beautiful, is it a sunrise in Arizona? I like the drop back. That's awesome. And a few more people. Let's see here. Also, some housekeeping. Go ahead and make sure that there's a red arrow through your microphone. If not, you're live and we can hear you. We have a lot of new coaches on here. Welcome. So we're excited you guys are here. Let's hear it. We'll get started officially in a few minutes, but go ahead and drop it in the chat also, or come off mute and share. What are some of your biggest wins this last little bit? Could be in your business, could be in your consistency, could be in your learning, could be in your health or other people's health. Let's get the ball rolling before we jump in today. Go ahead, again, either pop yourself off mute right now and jump in, or go ahead and put in the chat. Who wants to talk?
Brad, Suzanne.
Yes, of course. What's up, Suzanne? How's it going, big thinker?
I just want to tell everyone on here, I have really done what everybody says, all our leaders, and I have tried so hard to, my sphere is Facebook. And so I've just been doing what they said, just being consistent, and people are kind of coming out of the woodwork. I don't even know a lot of my clients. I've met them through them contacting me. And so I'm working really hard, and I just want to thank you and all the leaders on this call for constantly pouring into us. And I'm just doing the do and working hard.
Yeah, you are. Congratulations, Suzanne. And you're always such a joy to watch. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, Lee's giving you an applause. All right. I see a lot of wins in the chat too. Let's do one more before we move in. Yeah, go for it. Who's there?
Cindy.
Yeah, go for it.
It is Cindy. I want to just say, so we traveled to Mexico. We moved here and we live here for 6 months out of the year. And we left on the 29th, and we traveled here, arrived, did the red eye and got here in the middle of the end of the day on the next day. Anyway, and Candy was so there for me. I'm telling you guys, use your mentors, because if she hadn't been just like pushing me along on, some of this and just really helping me get the mindset right and working through it, things that happened this month wouldn't have happened. And so, use your mentors, and everything is possible. And, we just settled in and it worked out really awesome. So
I love that, Cindy. Congrats. And we love Candy. Everyone loves Candy, but we love you too. We're also jealous of you moving to Mexico. That's freedom right there, changing lives from another warmer place. So congrats, Cindy. I love that. Thanks for sharing. Let's do one more thing. DJ, did you want to share something? Yeah, I saw your hand up.
Yeah. Oh, Brad, do you know how much fun this is? I am having so much fun. The social media, I have been connecting with people I haven't talked to in years, and I am having a blast. I love that I get to connect with them with their health plan, and I'm having a really good time. And then just to hear the joy of their successes.
Oops, hold on, she froze for a second. I got to mute somebody real quick. Go for it. Keep going, DJ. Are you there, DJ? Oh, she froze. Here, I'm going to mute her. I'm going to mute a few more people. Oh, there you go. Go for it. Are you there? All right, cut out for a second. DJ, we'll catch you in the chat, but the point is you're having fun reaching out to people, which is the perfect topic. So Suzanne, so glad you shared that. Cindy, perfect takeaway this week. Couldn't have done any better on that one. Couldn't have been any more perfect. I'll pay you under the table later on that one. And then actually DJ, perfect too, because it leads into social media. That's exactly what we are talking about today. So it is 7:04. Let's get started. If you're just joining us in here, go ahead and open up the chat and drop in where you're tuning in from, and are you ready? Because this is where we're dropping into week 2, and we're fully jumping into the mix this week. Last week was all about, hold on, why is my thing being all weird? Here we go. There we go. All right. And I hope it's not going to be like one of those days with technical difficulties. I just can't. I'm too on fire to deal with technical difficulties today. You guys are all on fire. Okay. Let's get into it. Oh, yes, other housekeeping things here. You can draw on the screen if you're brand new. There's a little marker. We can all see that. So if you do it, draw nice things on the screen and then try to erase it so it doesn't distract from the great stuff that we're going to be sharing on today. Let's see here. It's 7:04, so let's get started. We're 220 strong on here. Hold on, everyone bear with me. I'm gonna have to make sure we get everyone muted here. So double check that you are muted on here. I love that our community is growing and still learning how to use Zoom. So if you don't have a red thing through your microphone, we can hear you. So, alrighty, I think everyone is finally muted. And if not, go ahead and check out the chat. Like, let's look out for one another. So speaking of looking out for one another, go ahead and text your friends, text your team. Make sure that no one gets left behind this morning, because just as a heads up, we're a little bit on fire. The chat says you guys are ready, but I'm going to ask one more time. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're ready to jump in to week number 2, because we're going to jump into action. Last week was all about prep, setup, and getting your schedule going. Why do we spend a whole week on setup? Because it's so important and vital to the success. If you have your schedule set up, then everything we do from the next little bit here will be very, very simple. Honestly, your life might be easier, and it will highlight the things that you want to do more. If you watched the live at the start of the month, then you guys know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you caught that. I did a Facebook Live on how to set up your map. Last week was all about that. So this week we jump into the course today, and we are going to have some of our, actually let me say this real quick here. Week number 1, we went over all those things that I just talked about. Scheduling rocks, how to build, finishing October strong. This week, we're going to be going over we already kind of went over planning for growth. That was on the live. Social media. This whole week's going to be a lot about social media. Always the basics of what we do. We're talking about how to bring it to a health assessment. Someone else is unmuted. There we go. I got you, John. Don't worry. I got your back, John. How to set up a health assessment and follow-up. So I kind of wanted to slow down for a second on this. Over these next few weeks, we're going to train you the whole system. We're going to train you all of these things that are all going to work in flow so you can see how it all comes together. Everyone that trains runs over 10,000 or frontline volume or above on this, and they sponsor at a good rate, which means they do the do. It's no secret. They just do the system. Everyone does the exact same thing. That's why you hear from so many trainers. Today, we have the people that run the top 4 frontline volumes speaking today. So does everyone want to hear from them? I can tell by the chat that everyone's ready to go. Drop me a 2 if you want to hear their secrets of how do they do it. Are they just super amazing, or did they just dial in the stuff that we're talking here? We'll find out here in a second. So last week, Allison really set us up by going through how to build. And this is what I want to come into this week is what success looks like. It's all about consistency. As we're going through here, we're going to show you these things. Really pay attention to these details and know that you're practicing. Everyone thinks success is this like straight line going up. But really, it's, if anyone has success, and there's a lot of you that have it, know that it's a really big squiggly line. And for some reason, one of my things we're missing here, it really could look like this one over here in the top right-hand corners. And a lot of you guys are testaments to that. DJ, I love what you were talking about there a few minutes ago. Hold on, I got to unmute another person. Judy, I got your back too. I got all your guys' backs today. What's up, Judy? But if we really hone this stuff, and if you put these things into play that we're talking about, your success will look like the top right-hand corner. So I know you guys all know this because you guys are breaking through. We had another big record month last month. Congratulations. And over here, just over time, if you guys can commit to consistency, that is the difference maker. So the last thing I do to really set up today before we get into the topic at hand, and probably mute one more person because I can hear someone else off mute. I got to have a talk with Zoom. When I say mute everyone on entry, it's not muting everyone on entry, or someone's figuring out some way to do it. So bear with me on this. But really, guys, okay, really, so come with me today. Come join me on this today. Skill set plus mindset plus action with the magic sauce of consistency is what creates success. You don't have to wonder if you're going to be successful. And hopefully you guys know what success means to you. Success is not what anyone else tells you need to be successful. It's continuing along the journey, knowing what matters most in your life. Like, I am committed to the daily commitment of being consistent. Probably you're going to see me wear some color version of this shirt every Saturday for the next 6 weeks. Because you know why? Because I'm consistent. You can count on me doing that. But over this next little bit, this next season, I want you guys to think about the next 4 months. And I know I've already gone over this, but I just really want to stress how powerful this is. And if you hear something over and over again, it's probably because it's really important. We're planting seeds. We've all committed to this next season of being consistent. Skill set, mindset equals what? Oh, fair. It equals success. That equation. I'm just reading the chat here. Skill. If you need to know, Vera, it's right here at the top. I just read the top header here. Skill set plus mindset plus action plus consistency equals success. But this next era right here, I can tell how your January, February, and March are going to go from the season you do right now. We're going to go over that today, and we're going to commit. We're all committed. Let me just double check the chat again one more time. Drop me a 3. We're all committed here to do the steps and do the 3, 3, and 3 this month, right? All right, cool. Because you will see the fruition of it. And Jen's going to break this down today, Jen Spohr. So, but what I really want to encourage you, and those that watch the Facebook Live that I did to set up the month, you guys have no idea what's possible over the next few months just by being consistent. If you're a brand new coach, great. If you're an experienced coach, wherever you're at, your consistency will really determine over the next little bit. So I want to take this last opportunity to just kind of set the tone for where people are at. If you're a new coach, your first goal is to stay connected with your support team. Maybe take some of the things we do here today and really focus on helping your first 5 clients. Link arms, talk with them daily, really do the action steps. If you're below executive director, your next step is to grow 2 or 3 points a month. We covered points last week. And move to executive director. If you're executive director and above, like DJ, you just shared a second ago, your goal is to continue to grow 2 or 3 points, dial in these systems, and keep growing people one step at a time. Learn it so well that you can teach it to others as well. Keep building 2 to 3 points a month, not only this month, but the season ahead. So last week, we covered all this. We talked about how to grow, what your next steps are. So hopefully you guys remember that training. So you guys, and actually I just like the chat. So drop me a 4. Are you guys all clear on what the next step is of your business? Because if you don't know where you're supposed to go, any road's going to take you there. I'm going to mute you real quick, Lisa. Cool. So you guys know exactly what your next step is. I don't want anyone being left behind on this. Number 2, we went over rocks of a growing business and a structure, how to grow. So hopefully you have that in, because with what everyone shares with you today, if you have your little pockets, it won't take you a lot of time, but this will be really easy. From here. And then we covered finishing the month strong. So I'm going to move on to that. Today, what we cover. So getting here today, 7-11, we're kicking off here. Week number 2, covering social media, endless connections, and consistency. This is the big one. Over the next few weeks, we're going to probably talk about social media like every single week a little bit, even though we're going to go through every area of the system, because the difference maker is using social media. And I'm going to have to preface this. Whether you use it a lot or a little bit or to the full extent Jen covers, just start. We talked about like consistency over time and practice. This is all practice. So if you hear Jen and you're like, oh my gosh, I could never do what Jen talked about today, that's okay. Like you're going to be okay with this stuff. We're going to talk about bringing it to the phone today. And we're going to talk about difference-making follow-up. All of these things, because if you do these things really well from the beginning, you will be there, or you will do really well with coaching. All of this stuff will bleed into the other stuff we cover over the next few weeks. So with that being said, Jen, we're going to start in here in a few minutes, but are you here today, my co-host?
I am, Brad. I am ready.
All right. You ready to get into this? Drop some knowledge on everybody?
Definitely.
I think the chat's ready. So, but last thing I want to say before we get into this, and we're going to take time to do this each week. This is something we've never done before. Is a lot of you, especially newer coaches, probably didn't know the intentional leadership that we have in our organization. We thrive and desire to be the best form of service to people. And we actually have 6 transformations of leadership that we subscribe to. Last week was lead from the future, act in the now, very timely to setting up goals and structure. But this week is about take responsibility and play above the line. Such a huge habit. Us, as health coaches, as people that serve people, we take responsibility, we play above the line. And there's a bunch of ways that this could be taken, but this also helps us be a world-class organization. But today for you, what it means in connection to our topic is we are going to go over the steps of what you want to accomplish with your dreams. We talked about it last week. Your habit of this week is to take responsibility for what you want. Play above the line and always find reasons to get it done and serve your dreams. Be making, or basically what I want to say, is show up and prove to yourself that you trust yourself to accomplish your dreams, because you can do this and you don't have to wonder if it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So with that being said, I think the chat's ready to go. We're all ready to go. Everyone knows where they're going. We got a notepad out. Hopefully you got your map ready to go. We'll go over some action steps at the end. But I'm going to introduce, actually, I'm sorry. Whoa, I got ahead of myself. Before I introduce Jen to take over this topic, I could have called on so many people here to just highlight their example of consistency. And just share this, but I wanted to bring on one example real quick. So Antonio, could you unmute yourself real quick? one thing I wanted to share real quick is Antonio and Annie recently made the decision. They've been solid coaches for a long time, really great coaches, but they've always kind of hung around like the 7,000, 8,000 frontline volume mark. 2 months ago, after convention, they made a decision to stay focused and do this stuff diligently. And last month, the month before, they went over 10,000. And I'm very happy to tell you that last month they reached almost 16,000 in frontline volume. Magic? Probably not. Just a heart of gold and action put into place. So Antonio, just because there's a lot of people that are like, can I do that? Is it possible? Could you just drop a little bit of a tip of what helped you make that happen for you and Annie? Just real quick before we hop in today.
Absolutely. Good morning, people. Antonio here. Yeah, it's funny because every Saturday we have this in our rock. I'm speaking for me and my wife. We have this in our rock to always listen and be on the Zoom call with you guys. And we always see this big thinker, and we know it's 10,000 frontline volume. But I'll be real, we were not getting there, but even though we want to do it, we want to be there, but we can't. It's just difficult. So maybe it's just making excuses. So what I did was, there was one time we were connected with Brad, and I just pretty much told Brad that, you know what, I'm pissed because of how we are doing our business. And he said, what do you mean you're pissed? Well, because I see this 10,000, but we cannot get it. I don't understand. We've been doing the program. We've been coaches. We love what we're doing, but we can't get there. So he said, Antonio, why don't you do this? Why don't you use that momentum of you being pissed and do the action more? More action. And I said, you know what? I'm good. We're going to do that. So we made a decision. The decision is between me and Annie. And we told our mentors, Brad and Ashley, that, hey, we're going to do that. So we made a decision. We went with our trainers. We did our map. Oh, my goodness. Our map last month was crazy. It's super crazy. A lot of people getting healthy. I'm a full-time, I'm still a full-time, I have a job full-time. So what I do is, since I have a map and we have a hundreds list, I make it a point that in the morning I do my connections. And at lunchtime I do my connections, and at nighttime I'm really busy. While Annie, what she's doing is she's doing all of her connections during the day, and we have everything set up. We were really laser focused. We met up with Brad pretty much like every week. And then whatever we are missing, we always connect with them. Integration calls, everything. So, yeah, anything is possible. Our map this month, 2 pages. 2 pages, guys. I cannot believe this. So it's really, really possible. Put a decision on it and run with it with your mentors, and everything will fall through. I'm really excited about the 3x3x3. We don't do 3x3x3. We do 10x3x3, or sometimes 12 3x3. Massive action, guys. We'll do it. Thank you, Brad, for letting me speak.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing that testimony. Jen, I think that really sets us up like key on this, because one thing Antonio did is they made a decision, Antonio and Annie. But honestly, I remember what you did is you decided, you're like, you know what? I'm not really consistent with my list. I haven't really done my list that well recently. My schedule's kind of flowy. And, I do the post some days. All you had to do was make a decision, and you did it, and you saw the reprieve on it like right away. So Jen, sound pretty familiar with what we're jumping into today?
Yes.
All right, Jen.
Exciting.
Take it away.
You know what I love about what Antonio shared is, he was in a place where, or they were in a place where they were like, what? They were getting pissed. They're like, why isn't this working? Right? And so they leaned into their mentorship team and said, what do we do? And they basically did it, which is pretty amazing. So I love that. So basically what we're getting into today is social media. And what I really want to share with you first off is just a little bit of my health journey. So basically what ended up happening was I got on program. Well, okay, let me back up. Hold on. Okay, back up 2 years ago. Fall 2016 was when I was very sick in my body. And I'm sharing this little snippet of my story so you really understand like my heart and really where my heart was in terms of helping people. because I was 200 pounds. And it wasn't just the weight that was weighing me down. It was literally my physical body. I was very sick. I had adrenal fatigue. I had leaky gut. I had chronic pain, joint pain, tons of inflammation in my body. All of those things were causing all kinds of issues going on up here in my head, massive depression, anxiety. I was dealing with this every day. And I was finding myself coming home to 4 children. I have 4 girls, and I'd go straight to my bedroom and pretty much go to bed because I was so tired and exhausted and just didn't want to deal with life. And so I tell you that because that's a really important piece of this whole social media thing. And let me tell you why it's so important. When I got on program, and after about 2 weeks, I started feeling so much better, like tons of energy. I wasn't tired. I was engaging with my family and my kids and like starting to live my best life, which is what Optavia is all about. Oh my gosh, I had a story to tell. Like I was like, I gotta tell people about this. This is crazy. I feel amazing. And so that's when I decided to become a health coach. And as soon as I decided to become a health coach, I did a couple of like other really proactive things, which lucky for me, I became a health coach in the middle of July, July 17th. And our national convention was literally the next week. And I was like, oh my gosh, should I go? And one of my coaches, Lori, invited me and I was like, maybe I should. I'm like, that's crazy. That's like next week. Can I pull it off? And I did it. And you guys, it like changed everything. So if you have any opportunity to go to any Optavia event, highly suggest that. But definitely national convention because it's amazing. But while I was at convention, I was like, you know what? There's something here that they're talking about, this whole social media thing. And I need to just shout out to my friend April, right? I heard April, she was like the social media queen. So I'm like, well, I gotta go talk to this April. I don't know who she is, but I'm gonna go talk to her. I'm gonna get 5 minutes with her. So literally at convention, I'm like, can I steal you for 5 minutes? She's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, tell me what you do on social media. And basically she broke it down for me within 5 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm going to do what she told me to do, and I'm going to see if I can blow this thing up. So literally on the plane, starting to make, you know, my list and all that stuff. But I'm going to get into that in a minute. So what I really want to tell you is Facebook in particular, super powerful tool. So the more that you can grasp the idea, even if it's baby steps, okay? Because some of you might be listening to me right now going, oh my gosh, she's talking about Facebook. Like, I don't know if I can even do this. I don't know if I can go there. I don't know if I even want to. But all I'll really say is this. You heard my heart on what my story was. I had a story to tell, and I wanted to get that out there. And the way to do that was through Facebook. Because honestly, you guys, I don't know about you, I do not feel comfortable just like going up to somebody and like talking to them about their health. Like that is not, like, I don't want to be about that. That would make me really uncomfortable because then it would make them feel like, oh, she thinks there's something wrong with me in my health and I need to lose weight or whatever. I never want to make anybody feel that way. But you guys, if I could on social media, on Facebook, share my story, my before and after, and what this transformation is doing for me in my life, then all of a sudden, guess what? People are coming to me. I don't have to like go and talk to people. They're coming to me. They're like, what are you doing? I want to know how to do this. Right? So that's what we have in our hands in terms of Facebook. That's why it's a powerful tool. So what I really want to encourage you with is, you guys, you all have a story to share. It might not sound just like mine, but you all do. Because obviously you became a coach within Optavia because like it started transforming your life. It started changing things. And you were like, this is crazy. I'm putting this pure nutrition in my body, and all of a sudden my mind is getting healthy, my body is getting healthy, the scale is moving, I'm feeling fantastic, I'm more confident, I'm more comfortable. Like, this is crazy, and I want to share this story. So this is the important piece about that, getting vulnerable with your story. Okay, I was willing to share the depths of my heart, which were my anxiety and depression and a lot of the things that I was dealing with in my own personal life. And the more you can get vulnerable with your story and put that out there and share, people are going to connect to you and they're going to be like, I got to talk to her, right? Because I can resonate. I got those same things going on. So that's why that vulnerability is important. You guys, fear. Okay, fear grips us sometimes. Fear is what holds us back the majority of the time. So you guys, do it afraid. Do it anyway. Write your story, get your pictures, just sometimes it takes you a long time to hit that post button because you're like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? Like, I don't know, right? Do it afraid. Do it anyway. You guys, be bold about your health. We have a solution. We have a solution in our hand. People are out there searching. They are searching. I was searching. I was like for 2 or 3 years, like, God, please just bring me something that's going to help me. And he did. I found it. I found the solution. So now all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, there are other people out there searching for a solution. We've got this solution. Be bold. Be bold about your health. And you guys, share the full trilogy. We are not a weight loss program. Okay. When I first came into this, I was all about just losing weight. And I thought that's what this was about. And then a couple weeks in, my mind started getting healthy. And I'm like, this is crazy. My mind is getting healthier. Like, okay, now I see what the whole healthy mind. And then I became a coach and my finances got healthier. So now I share about all of those aspects on social media, on Facebook, because it's our full trilogy. It's life transformation. We are a transformation company. So let me talk real quick about what we call the hundreds list. Some of you might not know what that is. Now, if you're thinking, well, I don't know, I'm not going to have 100 people, but it might start with 10. It might start with 20, 50. I'll tell you what I did. On my way home from convention, literally on the plane, started my list just off the top of my head. Okay, started my hundreds list. And then I was like, gosh, I don't know. I can't think of anybody else. So on my way home, I was with my husband. We were driving home. We had a 3-hour drive home from San Francisco. So I just pulled up my Facebook friends and I started going through every single friend and thinking, could they use this good health? Would this change their life? And if I kind of thought, yeah, you know what? This could really change their life and improve their life. I wrote their name down. And I came up with about 200 people. It wasn't just 100. It was like 200. I still have that list. And the cool part is often looking at that list and being able to go through and cross people off because they've been on this health journey. That's a really fun part to do. So, and revisiting that list is a good idea too. So starting your list, even if it's 10 people, right? But you're going to find, if you start going through your Facebook friends, you're going to find those people. So then let's jump into what the 3x3x3 is. And honestly, when I first heard this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the system that they have in place. And if I just follow this system, they're telling me this is going to work. So like for me, I was like Antonio. I was like, okay, if they're telling me to do the 3x3x3, I'm going to do the 8x20x50. Okay. So like, I just upped it. I was like, okay, they're telling me this works. So I'm just going to do more. Okay. I'm going to get into massive action, do more of this action of the 3x3x3. So Brad, you want to pull it over to the next slide?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
what I love about what you covered there.
Sorry.
No, you're good. This is just so powerful. The chat's blowing up for anyone that's watching the recording right now. Just I love the feedback on it. It's just so good. I love that you talked about just all the key things here, and that this is what everyone else was doing. So you did the work on this. So just doing it afraid. We all have a vulnerable story to share. I love that no one's story is different than others. There's so many great takeaways in the chat. I just love what you're saying here because you follow the system and now you run such high frontline volume. And really back to the reason why we're covering social media so much is like, I guarantee we'll cover how to coach really well, how to keep it simple, like the steps of it. But I guarantee if you had to give me one piece of one tool that would help me or probably helps you better support your clients, it's how well you live out on social media. And so not only does it fill your funnel, not only does it create connections, but it also helps your clients do better as well. And I loved how you were like, this might be a little scary for you. For some people, it's like, okay, let's just start somewhere. So let's break this down because I know you have some really good tips on this day. So good. The chat's blowing up. Keep going. This is awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so 3 by 3 by 3. So 3 Facebook posts / lives. So every day you're looking at, okay, what are going to be my 3 posts today, or my 1 live and 2 posts. And we'll talk more about what a Facebook Live is a little bit later. But honestly, you know what the thing is with Facebook posts? It depends on the day. Sometimes, like on Halloween on Wednesday, I had like 8 or 9 posts, right? Because it was a crazy day. I have kids all dressed up in Halloween costumes and all this different stuff going on. And I'm at school, and then I'm at the park, and then I'm trick-or-treating. Like, I'm just living out loud, like what Brad is talking about. I'm just like sharing my day with you, what I'm up to, what I'm doing, right? That's how people know me. And so it's 3 Facebook posts, lives, 3 friend requests a day. Okay, 3 Facebook conversations started. So let's break it down. Let's take a look at what 3 Facebook posts or lives look like. So living out loud, right? Doing the simple things, doing the fun, being fun, right, on Facebook, so that people are seeing what you're doing. But then also getting real, right? I did a post even the other day just about, I was super overwhelmed because it was the night before Halloween, and all of a sudden one of my daughters was like, I don't know what I'm going to be for Halloween. And I'm like, didn't we get this taken care of like a week ago? Like, we had the whole week off last week to do that. And so I was like kind of freaking out a little bit. But I just got raw and real and vulnerable. Like, oh my gosh, as a mom, I'm like freaking out right now because now I got to figure out what to do for my daughter, right? So it's just about really whatever is going on, sharing, right? So getting real, getting raw, getting vulnerable. Like I shared earlier about your story, okay? We all have a story. And like I said, if it's not hard to push the post button, then it might not be raw enough. Okay. So like really getting deep with like what your story was and where you are now. Okay. That's where you connect with people. And that's when they know, oh my gosh, she's a real person. Like, she was vulnerable and willing to share. I want to talk to her. Okay. Or him. I want to talk just for a second about a Facebook launch. Okay. This is what we do for new coaches. So basically a Facebook launch is you sharing your before and now. Lots of times it's not an after, it's a now because you're mid-journey, okay? And that's awesome. So it's a before and now. Don't wait on that though. Don't wait. If you're a coach, don't wait on like, well, I got to wait until I get to my end result before I share. No, people want to join you now, okay? They want to join you while you're mid-journey. So sharing your before and your now is really important. So whatever that looks like for you. And again, work with your mentorship team, your coaches, your support team on your story, okay? Because we can help with editing and with making sure that it's got the punch and the power that's going to reach people, because that's the whole reason you decided to become a coach, is because you wanted to help people. You wanted to help your family and friends. So let us help you with that, that Facebook launch. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes along with once you launch, and lean into your mentorship team. They can send you all the things that you need to know on how to follow up with that launch. But that's going to be reaching a lot of people. So that's what I did July 17th, 2017, when I first became a coach. And then you guys, this is my thing. I don't know if this is even enough to be a thing. But I did something that was called a mini launch. I just named it a mini launch because that's just what I did. I decided, you know what? I'm going to do a mini launch about once a week. And I find a new before, which is hard to find before pictures because they pretty much deleted most of them off of my phone because they didn't want them anywhere around. So it's difficult. Although this is a tip. They do pop up occasionally on Facebook. You know how they'll say like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I'm like, ooh, that's a good picture, right? To use for my before. So those are good. But I try to find a new before and then after for where I am right now. And you guys, I think about that before picture and I put myself back. Where was I? What was I doing? What was I feeling? What was I thinking? I was feeling disgusted with myself. I was feeling horrible. I was not happy with where I was. I get to that part, and that's where I share that little mini story. Doesn't have to be long. It could be like 3 to 5 sentences, okay? It doesn't have to be long, but it can be powerful. All right. So I would do a mini launch every week of myself because people want to see my story. They know me. They connect to me. Okay. Now, I do share other people's stories as well, but I try to really, share my story as well. So that's what I call a mini launch. And then, Brad, do you just want to jump in and share just kind of some additional tips on Facebook Live, stories, and Instagram?
Yeah, if you want to watch the training that we put up there as we prep this call, that one's really helpful. There's also one by Ray Lloyd that's really good. But just like Facebook Lives, they up your algorithm because really what you're doing is Facebook is a place for connecting. Like they want to connect us with the people that matter most to us. So Lives up you in the algorithm, people seeing your face, seeing your real life. I got to meet one more person. There we go. Facebook stories. Does anyone notice when they open up their phone, there's a list of people at the top? Those are people that are sharing stories. Stories are pictures or videos that last for 24 hours that you can post in there. So just different things that put you in front of people. And a lot of people ask about Instagram and should you do the one or the other? I mean, honestly, I would focus on being really good at both. The only thing I would encourage you is like, Facebook 101 stuff. Don't share directly from Instagram to Facebook. No one will see those posts. That doesn't show up well in the algorithm. But yeah, if you use and have fun with algorithms or with Instagram, because this is supposed to be fun, it's just a little bit, it's like the cherry on top. People are going to see you there and they're going to be sharing different parts of your life, but you're really going to live out loud with what Jen's talking about on Facebook. That would be my suggestion. So check out Ray Lloyd's training on that. It's really good. But this is really good, Jen, and I love that you said I use different stories. It was so valuable what you said there. Because people may not, I may see Jen and I may be like, I'm not a woman. But if you see different stories of different people, something's going to resonate, or it's just going to realize that you help a mass amount of people. And I would say the unlocking key, and Jen, you do a great job of this, is even if you know the person or you do know the person, you make it relatable to you. People want to connect with you on social media. They don't want to connect with an advertisement. So use different stories, but use them in relativeness to, we all know a million people here. Use Antonio's story. Use my story. I'll use Jen's story if I'm trying to create, different, our different opportunities for people to see different ways. Those people are impacting me and my story. They're not just some random person. People can tell when you know the person. So I would say utilize that as you're sharing different stories. I love the mini launch thing. They're so good, Jen. So yeah, keep going. This is great.
Okay, so the next thing, what do I post? You might be asking yourself, I don't know what to post. This is crazy. Post anything that's bringing value, okay? Be you, be bold, right? Because your Facebook community, your friends and family that are on there, when they start seeing the value that they're bringing, they're going to want to follow you more. They're going to probably even go straight to your Facebook page sometimes because they're like, I want to see what she's up to today, right? So bringing value. You guys post anything interesting that you're doing, out and about, living out loud, post anything, right? Inspirational quotes. I usually try to start the morning at 5 in the morning when I'm up with some sort of quote. Recipes and Lean and Green recipes. The key here, though, is try to share your own Lean and Green recipes. And this is another thing. Try to get your face in it. Try to get you holding it, right? People want to see you. And when they see your face more, that's when they're connecting with you more as a person. Share about how coaching has changed your life. Okay, I'll show you in a few minutes how I kind of do that. Share things, your kids, your family, your dogs, your cats, right? Share all of those things. General things about health, water, exercise, stress, sleep, right? Those things are easy to find. You can just go online and type in water. Go to images, right? Get a great image of something to do with water. And then you guys go to the Habits of Health book. Go to Dr. Ray's book and talks about water. Get some good tips. Throw some tips in there. That's bringing value to your Facebook community, okay? Post to generate comments. Those are really fun. And I'll share one with you in a couple of minutes that I did. I was on a training about 3 weeks ago and Megan Valentine was talking about microblading, which I didn't even know what microblading was. I had to look it up online. I'm like, what's microblading, right? And so it's like this whole eyebrow thing that you do. So I took this picture of myself, and I'm like, hey, what do y'all think about microblading? I got 62 comments, right? Which is crazy, but I'm engaging my Facebook community. And the other thing that's doing is when they're commenting on my stuff, that's telling Facebook that they want to see my stuff. So my stuff is going to show up at the top of their news feed. So the more you can generate comments and people commenting on your stuff, even if you're asking, I have one in there that said like, what are your favorite fall activities? Right? I'm curious. I want to know, what do you do during fall? People comment. That tells Facebook we want to see each other's stuff. And then before and afters, right? Definitely your own, but then definitely posting other people's stories as well. Because Brad's exactly right. I can post my story all day, but there might be men out there that are not connecting to my story. So I post men's stories. So they're like, oh, that's not just a women thing. Okay. Like maybe I'll call her now because I see other men getting healthy too. All right. So those are some of the things you post. What's the next slide? Okay. So here are a few examples. So like the one on the far left, right? I was able to volunteer at my daughter's school on Halloween. So I filled all those little goodie bags, and those are my two daughters at school. And so I was basically just talking about how I was able to volunteer. And then I said, if I was still, I wouldn't have been able to do this if I was still teaching. I'm so grateful. And I'm like, thank you, health coaching, right? It's just putting it out there. Hey, I'm so grateful that I'm a health coach now and I get to like do this stuff with my kids, right? There's an inspirational quote there. There's an idea for Halloween. There's a picture of my husband and I just hanging out on a Sunday afternoon watching the Packers. Go Pack. Okay, so what do we have next, Brad? So
I just want to point out, like, I love this, that you're just living out loud, being bold. You're being out there. You're living your life. Your people are seeing you. And here's just also some good examples here. Like, you bring a lot of value on your social media. And what I want to point out here is, we don't usually do a lot of posts that's like talking at people, like truth bomb, obstacles. But Jen, you have earned the right to drop some bombs and some knowledge bombs out there. You bring value, and you live your life. So you actually have earned the right to speak boldly, to people. And I love that. So I put this in here because I'm like, maybe we don't all do that, because we don't want to talk at people. We want to talk with people through our journey and our experiences. So this is so good. Keep going. I love this examples.
Right. And so like the one on the far left there is my daughter was on a volleyball team. So they were ending this was their last game. So basically just, I was at the volleyball game. So of course, just living out loud. This is where I am right now. And then just fun things, do your fat, prepare to die. If you're one of my clients, this is what you can tell you're fat. That's what we do. We release the fat from your body. So, being bold about what we've got in our hands, we know that it works. So being bold about that. And then that next post, it's just, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a boss, right? Who do you want to be? I'm loving my new life where I get to make the best choices for myself and my family, being my own boss. Never dreamed it would be this rad, right? So things like that. Okay. So then there's my post on, my thoughts on microblading. My husband and this Camaro that he's building, right? Just, I happen to be at his shop, snap a picture of it. Our two puppies, we just got these two mini Aussies. They're so adorable. So many of you are getting tired of my puppy pictures, but I don't care, right? I'm just posting puppies. And then there's a picture of me drinking my purposeful hydration, right? And then let's see, I'm not sure what's next. What do we got, Brad? I
got a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, do you want to speak on this for a minute?
Yeah, we just talked about some different things, and hopefully this is helpful. The chat's blowing up, so hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Be you, share it out there, but a lot of you can see that, Jen doesn't try to do anything in particular, and she's just one of great examples. We have so many people share on this. A lot of you do this well. We're just adding to the collective ideas here. But here's definitely some things to really focus on in the fall season. Like, I love this post right here where it's about, the Christmas and where you can be. Like, I love the fall-based pictures. I love this example of bringing value. I love the I love the picture fall to fall of your last year of where you've gone in your health. So many great examples. You can see how everything you just gave tips on shows up here live. And then you also gave the tips on how you live boldly and how it's good. Like Sarah Graves did on our last training a few months ago about how it's like share all aspects of the trilogy, all integrated clients and potential coaches, which is like the number one voted thing you guys want to learn how to do. Well, I can guarantee you it shows up way before you have ever talked to them. They know who you are. Have you guys ever gone anywhere and they're like, oh my gosh, you got the puppies, or oh my gosh, Jen, what's purposeful hydration? Or hey, Jen, you changed your health. They know what they feel from your energy of what you're putting out there. So put it out boldly. Let them know what's big. Paint the bigger picture. So I thought this would be our last good examples is you did snap that photo of your daughters walking to school, braces. Talk about this real quick as we kind of wrap up here.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah. That one on the left, which is my school pictures from, 2 years ago and then from last year, I was talking about my healthy mind there. Okay, so that's the full trilogy. I'm not just doing body. I was talking about my mind. That middle picture, super powerful. Okay, my daughter at the orthodontist getting braces put on. I have 4 daughters in braces. Okay, that costs money. All right, so this was my healthy finances. So I was like, look, I got another kid in braces. That's 4 at the same time. I can't even express the relief I felt this morning paying my $1,000 down on a credit card, knowing that it won't be a problem. Also knowing that we can totally afford 4 kids in braces. A couple years ago, I would have been so incredibly worried and knowing how we were going to pay for another set of braces. In the past, you know, blah, blah, blah. You can read it for yourself. But so incredibly blessed, you know, boom, health coaching, right? So I'm putting it out there to my Facebook world that this is what health coaching has done for me. And my finances are getting healthy, okay? So Facebook Live, I just want to share. I know I'm down on time. Sorry, I'm a little long-winded. But I wanted to share, this is important, okay? You guys, some of you out there might be like, oh, heck no, I am not doing a Facebook Live. That is like the scariest thing in the whole world. Like, and I get it, okay? I get it. There is fear there. But I want to talk about a Facebook Live fail, and it's okay. It's okay. You're going to get better at it. Every single one you do, and you guys, baby steps. Do little ones, okay? Like shout out to my girl Gayla, right? Who's probably on this call. Her first Facebook Live was walking her cats around on leashes in her yard, okay? That's easy. Like, just push the button and, like, do a Facebook Live on your pets, you know? But this is the deal. You'll get more and more comfortable as you go. So the other day I was doing one. I did one in our client page on waffling. And I was like, oh, that rocked. Like, my waffles turned out good. So then I decided to do one on my regular Facebook wall. I'm like, I'm doing waffling, but I'm going to add in other things. And you guys, my waffles did not turn out. I forgot to spray the bottom of my waffle iron. It was all sticking in there. And then, like, the second one I did, like, I had added too much almond milk. And so it was a total fail. Okay. And what I will tell you is this. I was on a call with one of my coaches the other day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did you see my Facebook Live? And she's like, I loved it. I loved it because you were just you. You were just real. And, like, your waffles weren't turning out, and you were just laughing at yourself because your waffles weren't turning out. And it's like, you know what? I mean, I even thought, like, should I even share this? Like, that was a total failure. And I'm like, heck no, I'm going to share it. It's almost better that it's a failure. So I just want to encourage you, do the Facebook Lives. Just push the button and just be you. Okay, 3 friend requests. We got to fly through this because I know I'm talking too much. Okay, check to see how many friends you have now. That's important, okay? When I was at convention, I thought I had so many friends. I was like, April's like, you got to up your friends. And I'm like, April, I got so many friends. You have no idea, girl. She's like, well, how many friends do you have? I'm like, I got 700 friends. And I thought I was killing it. I'm just like, I got a lot of friends. She's like, well, I got like 2,900. And I'm like, what? That many? And so I literally, you guys, I added like 2,000 friends in a year. Okay. I just was like, that's what I mean by, like, I didn't just do the 3x3x3. I did like the 50 on this. I was like, I'm adding friends. Right. So definitely connect with past relationships. You guys, this is super important. The best way to find those friends, like for me, I was like, okay, I want to find a bunch of people from high school. I want to reconnect. I want to reconnect past relationships. So I went to like my 5 best friends from high school. I went to their Facebook page. I looked at their friends and I went, oh my gosh, I know this person, this person, this person. I started adding because I found a whole bunch of high school friends that I didn't even think about until I went to their page and I found them. Okay. So adding friends, we're constantly meeting new people. You guys, I sat in a parking lot a week ago with one of my daughters, her new friends. I had never met her mother. We started talking about health and stuff. I'm like, let me add you on Facebook. Boom, added her on Facebook. Now we're friends. We're already communicating about health. Okay. Suggested friends. Go to your suggested friends. See how many friends you have in common. Mutual friends are a really good way. If I've got like 50 mutual friends with someone, more than likely, you guys, this is the thing. I'm horrible with names. Okay. So like, there's a really good chance that I know that person. Okay. So I'm going to just add them. All right. Because if I've got that many friends in common with them, more than likely they know me and I know them. I just don't remember that I know them. So I have no problem adding Go to current friends pages, look up their friends. I talked about that. Any friends you add, okay, this is the key. Check out their Facebook page. So as soon as you add them, go to their Facebook page, comment on one of their posts, like one of their posts. Now, don't be weird though. If they haven't posted in like a year, don't comment on their post from a year ago, because that's a little stalkerish. That's a little weird. Don't be weird. Okay, but find something that connects, right? If they're post a picture of their kids, be like, cute kids. Then this is the key, and this is going to lead us. What does this last thing say? You just became friends. Yeah, it's normal, you guys. You just became Facebook friends with them. It's normal to go to their Facebook page. That's what people do, okay? They check out what their old friend is up to. So don't think that's weird. It's not weird. That's what we do. It's a normal thing to do. So that leads us into our next one, which is the 3 messages. Something there real quick.
So good. So just one real quick there. Yes, it's the normal thing to do. It's the connection thing to do. We're about creating endless connections, and we want to connect with people. Think about what it feels like when you get that friend request and then you get that comment right after. I mean, as long as you didn't go back and like or comment on something from a year ago, I would be like, whoa, who's this person? But if they friend request me and then like something, I'm going to be I'm in relationship with them. And you're also telling Facebook that you guys want to see each other's stuff. So it's huge. So I just want to make sure that we talked about posting 3 times a day. We talked about 3 friend requests. The key is that you not only add them, but you go comment in their page. You go make that connection. That's the piece on this that's so important. Plus, when they get your friend request, what's the first thing you do when you go to Facebook? You go click on their thing and you go check them out. So the key is what you're posting is that if they're going to go check out your page, they better know that you're about health, because if they go to your page, is there enough information to be like, oh my gosh, Jen's changed her health. But anyways, yeah, let's hurry up on this. I want to make sure we get to the last follow-up stuff here real quick. So let's finish it up with the 3 personal messages. Go over this real quick.
Right. So now that you've already gone to their Facebook page, you've seen what they're up to, a picture of their kids, whatever, right? Now you're going to send them a personal message. Right? And you're going to say something that you learned about them on Facebook. You might see their kids or where they're living or whatever, right? So you're going to connect with them. You're starting the conversation. Now you're not sending a message saying, hey, I think you should get on my health program, right? That's weird and that's uncomfortable. Don't do that, right? Don't ever do that, right? So you're just saying something like, Jill, so glad we're reconnected through Facebook. It's been forever. You have beautiful children. Where are you living now? What's new with you? You're starting the conversation, right? And that conversation might go back and forth, just talking about your lives like 5 or 6 times, where you're just reconnecting, right? Starting many conversations every single day, right? At least 3. That's what the 3 is, 3 personal messages a day. Don't be disappointed if they don't respond. This is important. I had to really get over that thing, because you might send them a message and you might be sitting there eagerly waiting on your phone, okay, well, how come they're not responding? They might not even see it. They might not even have Messenger on their phone. They might not even check Facebook for 3 months. Okay, it has nothing to do with you. Okay, so really, seriously, don't be offended or if they don't respond to you right away. Don't be emotionally connected to the outcome. You're just starting a conversation. That's it. You're just getting that relationship going again. Sometimes they won't respond for 6 months. You're planting the seeds. You're opening the conversation door is what I call it. Because sometimes it's hard. If they might see all your posts and stuff, they're like, yeah, but I don't want to reach out. I don't know what she's going to think if I reach out. I already opened that door because I'm like, hey, what's new? How are you? Right? So you be the outgoing one. You be the one that starts the conversation and opens that conversation door. And it might be 6 months from now that they're like, hey, I really want to talk to you, So definitely plant those seeds. Yeah.
Brad, all right, so let's finish up this one. Yeah, can we do a quick overview on this? Because I want to leave time for Allison to do this as we wrap up on time here. But the next big step of this, the key is, because we're hitting on all the things before we get to the health assessment next week. This is so good, and the chat's just blowing up. It's so good, Jen. Bringing it to the phone. There's also an artwork in this, because integrated clients, your posture, your relationship, how well they will do on program starts before you even get to the health assessment. So you've already laid out how to create flows, connections, tons of people reaching out to you. So different key things that we didn't cover today, like how when people ask you, if let's just say they don't even message you, if they ask you questions on your stuff, how to be like, oh, I'll private message you so more people know how to private message you. All these great tips. But what's the number one tip you would say when bringing it to the phone? Because we all get there. We all get the how questions and we want to start texting them back. So give us your quick tip on how to set up a health assessment from your interest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. This is the biggest thing. Okay. Because it's the thing that I see new coaches doing. And I'm like, oh, no, don't do that. Okay. People will message you and they like ask you questions. They're like, what's this program? What's the name of it? How much does it cost? Like all these different questions. And then you start engaging in this back and forth with them. I don't do any of that. Okay. I try to, whatever they're asking me, I try to like embed that in my message. But my main message is always the same. No matter what they message me, I respond pretty much the same every single time. I might add a few things in, like if they said something specific in their reach out to me, I might add something in, but my message basically sounds like this. And the thing is, you guys, this is no secret. I got this from Optavia. I got it from our system. This is our system, okay? So I want to be really clear on that. I didn't make this up. Like this, my mentors told me this is what you should do. So I did it and this is what works. Okay. I send them a message that says something like this. So glad to hear from you, so-and-so. And I put their name in there. I am honored that you trusted to reach out to me. What's the best number and ideal time to reach you today? I'm excited to listen to your goals and see if what I coach is a good match for you. You guys, key word in this whole text is today. Okay, I can't emphasize that enough. Now, if it's 9 p.m., when they send me a message, the word there is tomorrow. Okay, but you guys, don't put someone off till next Wednesday. They're going to feel a whole lot differently next Wednesday than they feel today. Today is the day they reached out to you. Today is the day I want to talk to them. Okay, and that's the polite thing to do. I mean, I get it. You might be at the zoo with your kids and it's a little difficult. Okay, I totally get that. We all live lives. So work it out to where it's the best time. But you guys, I'm telling you, even if I was at the zoo with my kids, I'd probably be like, okay, you know what? You guys watch the giraffes over there. Mom's going to go do a quick call. Okay, like, because that's how important it is to me. Like, I figure it out. I figure it out because that person is desperate. They're looking for a solution. And guess who they reached out to? Me. So you know what? The polite thing to do is to say, I want to talk to you. Okay, so because you guys, I send them this message and guess what happens? It's mind-blowing. 95% of the time, they send me back their phone number and the time that they're ready to talk. They don't ask me any questions. They just give me their digits and the time they want to talk. And I'm like, all right. I mean, and health assessments for me are pretty important. Like if I have other things going on, I try to see what I can do to make sure that I can talk to them that day. And again, I don't answer questions over text. Do we have an example, Brad?
Yeah, this is so good, Jen. Spot on with this. And I love it. So a lot of these things that you're getting, if you guys haven't seen this, there is a whole document on taking it to the phone. Like it's so good. Like feel free to like alter it based on like your conversation, but it's so good. You can pretty much just copy and paste. Like Lindsay, you're nodding intently right now because you're like, yes, I know this is so true. This is so good. So that's here. And then just here's an example of this real quick. So let's use this as we wrap up here because the chat's blowing up and this has been so crucial and it's so key. I love it. Let's finish up with this one right here.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me end on this. This is an example of a gal that I reached out to. You guys check out the top circle, the in red. Okay, it's 12/16/2017. That was when I first added her as a Facebook friend. And I said, Liesl, glad we are Facebook friends. My brother speaks very highly of all of you. This is someone who lives in Wisconsin. Okay, April 30th. I said, happy birthday, right? Just said quick. I knew it was her birthday. I go on Facebook and I wish people happy birthday. She said, thanks. Then guess what? September 13th this year, right? Just September. Hey, Jennifer, we don't really know each other, but I've been following your Facebook feed since meeting your brother, Patrick. It is amazing to see the transformation. I too have 50 pounds to lose and I'm finding it hard to shed. I'm a private person on this stuff, so it makes me nervous to reach out to you. Hope you can keep this confidential. And then, of course, I'm sharing it on a call with all you. But I blocked out her name, you notice. Okay, so I'm so intrigued to see if this could help me. I'd love to set up a time to talk. Okay, and then look, there's my message. So good to hear from you, Lisa. I'm honored that you trusted to reach out to me. I totally understand the privacy factor. My brother speaks very highly of you. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, and then I'm trying to see. Yeah, shoot me a couple times later. Oh, you know what? The things got mixed up.
Sorry.
So anyway, it's all right. So it's okay. So anyway, you can see there that we set up a time to talk. Okay. So it just went to, okay, now we're just talking about the time. There wasn't any questions or anything going back and forth. It was just a matter of setting up the time to talk. So that's pretty much how I do it.
Jen, thank you. Guys, if you guys want to show some Jen some love in the chat, feel free. She just dropped like so many knowledge bombs for you guys. Ashley and Lindsay, you guys have done this training in the past. So good. It's just literally the same thing with a little bit of our own flavor added onto it. So key. Back to the, if you're saying here, if you're busy, if you're new, it's why it's so important. Hold on, I got to do somebody. Lorraine, I got your back. As we wrap up here today, we're going to one last example. So we're probably going to go about 5 minutes over, as long as you guys are good with that. Actually, drop me a 5 in the chat if you guys are good with that. I want to make sure we respect your time on this. 5, I'm sure we're good. Yeah, you guys are hungry. That's why I love this community. I mean, I'll stay on it 2 hours after. I love learning how to change lives so much. And I'm glad you are too. It's a factor in your success. None of you guys are here because you have to be. So Jen, you're getting the love on here. It's so good. But back to the people that you're like, okay, I got a limited time, because that's how we were when we got started. That's why we spent last week knowing your schedule. So if you don't know your schedule, if you get that, I'm so glad you said that, Jen, because it's like, okay, you might know that you're free after 6. Hopefully you know your schedule. Great, I'm free. Are you available today? I'm free after 6. Like you just gave them like the easiest way to say yes to something. It's so good. All right, guys. Thank you, Jen. You are the master. You and Jason run over 20,000 frontline volume every single month. It's no secret why you do this so well. And everyone here can do it, or to whatever level of volume they want to run and have people they want to serve. Thank you for sharing your knowledge today and your heart. Love it. All right, topic number 3. We're going to actually cut this one in half. I was going to have Karen Tiros, new integrated national, share on this because she's so good, but we're going to save that for next week because it actually is going to apply better after a health assessment. But I wanted to bring on Allison Petty, new global director. What's up? And new executive director, Carrie. So just to give an example that like the reason why we do all this stuff is because follow-up is so key on it. The follow-up, the fruit is in the follow-up. The relationship is in the follow-up. The trust is in the follow-up. Our consistency is in the follow-up. And probably if we get this, well, not probably, if we get this thing down, we're probably missing out on so many people. So Allison, real quick here as we wrap up, would you and Carrie drop some knowledge bombs on follow-up that made such a difference this last month? Because I know a lot of people are probably right where Carrie was at, and we're always where that's at. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Good morning. Awesome knowledge, Jen. I could talk forever about all of those things. Check in with your mentorship, guys, and figure out whatever she's talking about if it doesn't make sense. But follow-up, something I'm super passionate about. And you know, when Brad said he was talking about this today, I had the perfect person because we just watched this happen last month in October. So just a little bit about Carrie, you guys. She and I met on Facebook. I friend requested her. We became friends. She lost 35 pounds on program. She started sharing it. She came to convention in July. And she's kind of been a little slow to grow, and we've been trying to figure out what's been going on there. So anyway, consistently, she's been doing the 3x3x3 and really rocking that. And so on October 28th of this year, she was at about 2,000 frontline volume. And she called me and she basically said, all right, Al, I'm tired of this. I'm ready to dive into this. I want to be ED. I have some goals. This has to happen. What can we do? And so, Carrie, are you there, girl? Just kind of want to give people the, the example of what we did and how we dove in. But you guys, October 28th, 2,200 frontline volume. She ended up in those last 3 days of the month, actually 2 days of the month, because on the 31st, I wasn't considering that the last day of the month because it was Halloween and I wanted to be present for my family. And so a brand new executive director, and all we did was follow up, you guys. Carrie, are you here?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Hi, Carrie. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, it's been a wild and crazy and super fun week. Is it only Saturday?
Yes. Tell us what you did, Carrie. I know, honestly, you guys, we always hear these leaders say, make the decision. And I'm like, I made the decision 5 years ago when I joined Optavia. I've made the decision. Why am I not integrated pres, right? But I just want to be clear. There's a difference in making the decision and making the decision. Tell me a little bit about that, Carrie.
There is. And y'all, I was right there. I had made the decision. I was at convention. I was blown away by it. And, you know, I was doing the work and I wasn't seeing my results that I wanted. And it was truly that. It was the decision. It was one of those things where you just, if you remember how it felt, that decision when you didn't believe yet, when you said, I'm going to do this program. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to believe it's going to work, but you lean into your coach and you let them believe for you until you can believe it. And we dove in, we leaned in, we did a lot of work and we did the follow-ups and I did exactly what Allison told me to do. And I learned so much in those 3 days, y'all. I just leaned in. And for me, it's just like fat burn, right? It's that 1 degree, right? Makes all the difference. Well, my 1 degree for this, to be perfectly honest, I was still afraid it wasn't going to work, that I couldn't do the thing and get where I wanted to be, even though I could see through all these trainings and all these leaders and these amazing people that do this for us, y'all. We have the foundation. They're letting us build this framework for our businesses so that we can help so many people. But, you know, we still have to do the work and dive in and lean in, do the follow-up work and believe that it will work for us because it can. Because, you know, like how many days ago? 3 days ago? Yeah, I was needy.
No, but what we did with follow-up, I mean, it's not rock. I mean, this is not a trick or this isn't like a secret is what I'm trying to say. We went back to all of her health assessments. We went back to the likes and comments. We went back to what she had done on Facebook and systematically worked together on Zoom and dove in and we followed up. And you know what I learned is that sometimes we're not passing on this skill really well. And I learned a big thing to like really work with my team on solid follow-up, because what happened is when we followed up with the health assessments, Carrie was like, but they said no. They said no 6 months ago or 3 months ago. And I'm like, well, let's go back and re-engage and see what's up. Are they at their goal? And Carrie's like, I don't know, but I mean, I don't want to be pushy or weird. And I'm like, this isn't going to be weird. Let me show you how we do this. And guess what? These people started saying yes. We went back to the people who had said no. We went back to unengaged clients. We followed up with every single person on this earth, right?
Yes.
And here we are today. Brad?
Were you last question for you. This is so good. Last question for you, Carrie. Were you blown away because you had said, oh, these people said no, but they hadn't said no recently? It takes planting and consistency. We've already went over that. Were you blown away by the amount of people that were ready and they just needed a touch?
Yes, 100%. And the fact that it was me holding myself back, all I have to do is do the work. It was me, and I just needed to do the work and listen to my mentor and ask the question. And if I hadn't done that, how many of these people wouldn't be starting program, y'all? That's more scary to me than busting through my own fears.
Boom. I think we can end today on that. Carrie, congratulations, First Step Executive Director. So awesome. We'll hear from Karen Tiros next week on a little bit more tangibles on this, but I think we got exactly what we needed. Follow up today. Do the work. We're going to go at it today. I'm not going to do this because we're going to finish up here. Here it is, guys. I didn't want to do action steps because you guys are all adults. Like, I don't want to give you guys a to-do list. I want to show you guys what the difference makers are to do today. Like, what's the action that will make the difference, because we are in action. And that's why we're changing so many lives. So number one, checklist off today. If you see a checkbox, it's like, oh, do I have that solid in my business? Is your map done? Sent to your support team, possibly connecting if you're learning some skill sets on the side. If you're on the newer side, declare your goals, make the decision, do the work. Yeah, Carrie, I love that. Schedule set up. If most of you guys are already good at it, but if on the chance you have not got your schedule set up, we do not want to leave you behind in this. We want to get our schedule set up. We're in full action. You guys are already doing your 3, 3, and 3, or your 8, 3, and 3 if you're like Antonio and have made the decision. In full connections. We're on day 3 today. We're already in. We're committed to the 3, 3, and 3, or doubling that, or tripling that if you're like what Jen said. So make sure you have your connections list. We're going to go a little bit more over that later, but the connections list is that document where you're always putting these people down. You have your ability to follow up with it. Those are key. Next month, or start this month strong in full action. A growing coach with a growth mindset that's changing lots of lives is in full action today. And they work the beginning of the month like they work the end of the month. So next health assessments, next clients, next integration calls, next coach explores, whatever your business needs next and what the people in your life around you need next. Let's go be in service today. get that little itch, that little extra, like, what do I need to do today? What's that one thing that's going to move my business forward? It's going to move people forward. Like last week, it was follow up for Carrie. What is your thing today? Maybe it's being bold. Maybe it's getting off this call and sharing live. I don't care what it is. Just go out there and be in action. We have a solution to what people are looking for. I appreciate you all. Thanks for putting up with my energy and my consistent energy. Hopefully it's consistent energy. Appreciate you all. Let's go get after it. Congrats on week 2. Next week, we dive into world-changing health assessment and how to bring someone on program. So thank you, Jen. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you for everyone who shared at the beginning. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you all for being part of our community. Go have a great Saturday. Go do something extra that changes a life and our life. Talk to you all later.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes. Hey, Brad, I'm seeing people ask, like, what specifically Carrie and I did, and I'm just encouraging them to connect with their mentor because we're all doing the same stuff. I'm not special. Everybody's doing the same stuff, you guys.
So glad you said that.
I'm a little special, but I mean.
Well, I mean, you guys are pretty cool, but you know, whoever stays on for the bonus can hear this. All the things we went over. Oh, that thing that April said to Jen at convention. Well, she just said everything that we do in the system. She's just said, do your 3, 3, and 3. Oh, that special thing you did for follow-up with Carrie. Oh, you guys just connected and did follow-up. Like all those special posts that Jen does, like where'd she get that idea? Well, it's the same training we've all seen. Hey, Suzanne, how'd you hit Big Thinkers Club? Oh, I just did the work and I made the decision. Hey, Antonio and Annie, how did you get to 16,000 or almost 16,000 in frontline volume? Oh, I made the decision and I did the work. It's all the same. There's no mysteries. We're all the same here. And the beauty of it is, sorry to be on my soapbox on the end here. I just get really passionate about this. We don't need to be anybody else. We need to be ourselves. The world needs to see each one of us individually getting out there, shining our light, but doing the same work. That's what people connect with, and that's why we're changing so many lives. So, Allison, anything else you want to add to that? Because that's a great question. I'm glad we provided clarity on that.
I think that's the best thing to say is that there's nothing special that Carrie and I did. Honestly, no BS, you guys. We made the decision together. And I've never experienced what it feels like to know what it means to make the decision, because you always hear people say that from stage, and it so frustrated me. But this was a complete black and white difference between making the decision and then what it looked like for us to work together. It was happening and the momentum was there, and we did the work. And no matter what I'm doing or saying or whatever, your mentors can help you with all of those words and that action as well.
Yep. Raise your hand.
You know what? I gotta agree with her, because when I listened to her talk today, it was like implementing everything she said, because I do so much of it, and then I learned that I could do more. But everything falls into place. And when she said all that, it was like, wow, I'm doing that stuff and she's doing that, and I'm gonna get there, because every step you guys ever said we would achieve if we did it happened. Everything. And so when she said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great, because I'm doing it. So I just loved what you had to say today, Allison. It was beautiful.
Lisa, I'm so glad you jumped in first. Our new, you and Steve, new integrated regionals, and also Big Thinkers as well, of 15,000 frontline volume. So again, just doing the same thing. I'm glad you popped off and shared that. I love the after party, you guys. I love how hungry we are to share our knowledge with each other. So with that being said,
tie a pretty bow around it, as Terry Miller says. You guys, you know what the secret is? I always ask Brad, what's the secret? With this one, it's putting the y'all in it and not being right.
Yeah, apparently. Oh yeah,
Carolina.
Add a y'all in there. It'll like add the extra sauce on top. All right, you guys, go out there, be consistent, do the work. You've got the structure. You know what to do. Go practice it this week and really just commit to yourself that you're going to do it. Let's go change the lives, and let's go get after it this week. Take your next step of your business. Go be on fire. Go do that extra thing today. Appreciate you all. Have a good day.